Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God and I love theology. I want to become a better principled person. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one. No one. That doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with your consequences, good or bad. None of us get away from that. None of us, None of us. And love yourself. If you love yourself, if nobody else loves you, if you love yourself, you'll be okay. And never give up on yourself. Never. If you lost everything you have, and all you have is yourself, you have everything. You can always rebuild. For you, those of you just tuning in, I focus out of three major religious texts: the Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist text called The Shape of Suffering. But it deals with dependent co-arising. Without no this, there's no that. And everything that we say and do has an effect on our senses, good or bad. Let's just give you an idea, okay? I try to rotate the text twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how I'm led to meditate each day. Anyway, we're back in the rotation for the Bible, and I'll be coming out of Mark, and I'm going to be starting chapter 5, and it goes from 1 all the way through 43, but I don't know if I'm going to get that far, but I'll let you know what verse I end on, okay? And we're talking about, these are stories about Christ, and different people that he interacted with, along the way. When he was doing his ministry and his disciples, his interaction with his disciples, so on and so forth. Okay? So these are just, we're just listening to stories, okay, about different events. And they came over unto And they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of Gadarenes. I don't know if I'm saying the name wrong. If I am, I'm sorry. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. And no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Now, that had to be a strong monster, okay? If chains couldn't bind this dude, that's a scary dude, okay? If chains couldn't bind this guy, that's a scary man. That's a scary man, okay? The boogeyman. It's a monster guy. Ladies, some of our worst nightmares have been around monster guys. Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. That's a wild man. Good God. That's a woman's worst nightmare. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. That's sad. He was that tormented. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshiped him. So he had some sense. The man had some sense, though. And he cried with a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? And adjure thee by God, that thou torment me not." So he knew he had a spirit in him too, sounds like. It's sad. All of us go through stuff, and we dealt with people who seemed impossible. But what about the times when we were impossible? Some of you might be able to relate to that. What about times What about times we were impossible to somebody? On purpose. I don't know if anybody else out there can relate to what I'm saying, you know. I think a lot of us have been a monster to somebody. I don't want to be a monster to anybody ever again, ever, ever. Because I know what happens when you're a monster to people, you know. I know what it's like to make mistakes and then have to suffer the consequence behind it. I know what that is. I know how it feels. I don't like it. That's why I want to be better. You know, I'm not perfect. I mess up too sometimes. You know, even now. It's just more, people just love it when I mess up though, so they can throw it in my face. But I'm like, well, okay. I did it. I didn't do it. Whatever. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to let that bind me though. The dude, even though he was messed up, he didn't go around people that much, but he knew, this man knew he wasn't all the way there, but he knew Christ was real. And he knew he could save him. Let's go on. For he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. This is a lot, and I love it. This is very important. I'm going to write this down. We've all been monsters before. Come on now. We've been a monster to somebody, most of us. Not everybody. Even if you think you're perfect, you know you had your moment. Even I don't care how far back you go, you had a moment with somebody. I don't care how far removed it was. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. That man had a whole lot of spirits in him. But he went to Christ, though. He had enough sense he knew Christ could heal him. Same with us out here. I mean, y'all don't have to believe it, but it works for me. It works for me. The people have this perception that when you love God, you don't go out and have fun or party, or you don't, you know, you just like this, you know, walking through life and you don't see anything and you're perfect and you don't live your life and it's boring. I have a blast in my life. Do I mess up? I do. Do I like to party? Sometimes, but I got to stop. I can't do it every day. It's not healthy to do it every day. I'm not a theologian. I'm going to talk to you in real talk. As a human, regular person walking around here. I just love theology, and I study it because I want to be better. Because I know I'm sinful too. I have my moments too. But so what? I'm not going to let people hold me back because of my sin. I got it too sometimes. I'm going to stop at this. I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to stop it at verse 9. I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow. Have a good day.